Members, will you please be seated? We have attained the quorum. It is about time to make a start. Item 1, election of chairman and deputy chairman. Let's proceed to the election of chairman for the Joint Subcommittee to monitor the implementation of West Kowloon Cultural District Project. Under rules of procedure, I'd like to call upon members to make a nomination seconded by another member, and the nomination has to be accepted by another member. Mr. Yu Xiwing, nominator Mr. Edward Lau. Seconder, Mr. Wilson Orr. Seconds, Mr. Lau, you accept the nomination? Yes, I do. Any other nominations? Mr. Raymond Chan, I nominate Ms. Tanya CHAN. Mr. Edward Yu, seconds. You're pretty far away, aren't you? Ms. Tanya CHAN, you accept the nomination? Yes, Chairman. Any further nominations? No, I don't have to count to 5. That's what James does. I don't have to do it. All right, we have 2 nominations. Unless we have any further nominations, I now put this to the vote by secret ballot. Will the duty staff please distribute the ballot papers and also a chop with a tick on it. If you're part of this subcommittee, please be seated and you'll be distributed a ballot paper. And you have to remember what committee you've joined. Mr. Leung Ko-hong, please return to your seat. As soon as members have put a chop on the ballot paper, I'll bring the voting to a close. I've got it wrong. Can you have a new one, please? I have defaced it, and this has to be collected. All right, members, please have a look. We are destroying the ballot paper that has been defaced. All got the ballot papers? All right, we stop distributing the ballot papers. Please check your votes. Do you need any more time? If not, I bring this to a close. We collect the ballot papers back.
Sorry.
Number 1 is Edward Lau. Number 2 is Tanya CHAN. You're not supposed to show anybody the way you vote. We have distributed altogether 14 ballot papers. Will the 2 members making nomination please proceed to the podium to monitor the counting? Mr. Yu Xiwing and Mr. Edward Yu. Please start counting.
OK。2號
Number 2. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 2. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. Number 1. With the two nominees, please return to your seat. 9 for Mr. Lau, 5 for Ms. Tanya Chan. I now declare Mr. Edward Lau formally elected as chairman of the subcommittee to monitor the WKCD. All the ballot papers will be destroyed afterwards. Mr. Lau, over to you, please. Thank you very much for your support, members. All right, I'd like to hear from members where we need a vice chairman. Please, show of hands. All right, then let's proceed to the election of the deputy chairman of the Joint Subcommittee to monitor the implementation of West Kowloon Cultural District project. We need to have one member making the nomination verbally to be seconded by another member, and the member being nominated has to accept the nomination. Mr. Raymond Chan, I nominate Ms. Tanya Chan. Seconder. Dr. Edward Yu seconds Ms. Tanya Chan. Yes, I accept the nomination. Any further nominations? Do I have to count to 5? All right then. Congratulations, Ms. Tanya Chan. I declare that Ms. Tanya Chan, formally elected as Deputy Chair of the Joint Subcommittee to monitor the WKCD, ipso facto. Let's proceed to the next item, schedule of meetings and items for discussion. The Secretariat has already made available the timetable to members. Would you have a look at the schedule? There are 4 meetings lined up. We can certainly adjust the list. Basically, we have 4 on the list. The first one is scheduled for December 16th, a Friday. Let's have a look at this meeting first. In the morning, the meeting is scheduled for the morning. Unless you have any further questions, let's stick with this timetable. To facilitate the work of the subcommittee, please block out your diary for these dates. next items for discussion. We have the paper prepared by the Secretariat, and we also have the terms of reference of the Joint Subcommittee and the work plan. They are in Appendix I for members' information. And the administration's proposed items for discussion are in Appendix IV. Appendix IV include update on the progress of West Kowloon Cultural District Development, Young Designers Competition for Temporary Pavilion, and so on. Ms. Tanya CHAN, Chairman, item 3, financial situation and arrangements. Update on the arrangements of WKCD. I'm wondering whether this can be incorporated into item 1 because this is a progress update other than the hardware development. I'm sure members are concerned about the financial situation. I'm also looking at item 2, the Young Designers Competition for Temporary Pavilion. We may not need a long time for discussion, so I'm wondering whether we can advance the financial situation and update on the arrangement a little bit earlier, because we've been waiting for this for an awful long time, and this is dear to members' heart. Since 2008, $21 billion have been earmarked in endowment fund, and it is likely that it's going to go up to $40 billion. I'd like to find out more about the financial situation. Yes, indeed. Together with the Vice Chair, we can have a word with the Development Bureau and see whether they can bring this forward a little bit to the meeting in December. And we'll follow this up after the meeting. Dr. Helena Wang. Chairman, I hope that we can follow up on the connectivity between the WKCD and the elements and the vicinity for traffic and for pedestrian traffic, and also the WKCD software, in particular the promotion of arts and cultural education is also just as important. We're not talking about concrete here. I think that we have to make people aware or help people appreciate the project. So I think we need to have the cultural and arts education. We have to ask the WKCDA as to how much manpower is devoted to this area and what resources they have for this, and this is important. And the WKCD is really shrinking. After batch 3, what will be the financial arrangement? Will the rest of the project be turning into a real estate project, and will the arts and cultural developments be confined to these small size WKCD area? All right, the software. I think we can take this up with the Bureau. We will follow up on the other areas as well. Dr. Edward Yu, Chairman. In terms of the personnel, there have been changes to the personnel, and some people are proceeding to retirement.
And in the paper, there is little mentioning about personnel in relation to facility management and also the governance issues. So I would like to find out more. Yes, we will follow up on that. Any further suggestions? If there is none, then we will go by the items proposed by the administration. And also we will add in the issues of concern raised by the members just now. So let's move on to the next item, AOB. AOB? If not, Thank you very much for coming. Meeting adjourned. The next meeting is scheduled for 16th of December, Friday, 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. Thank you.